This is the second week of my 20,000-mile journey around Europe to explore strange new worlds and new civilizations, to boldly go in an E-Type that's as old as me. We start tonight in Belgium, which we always think is a bit boring. A country famous only for having the brightest streetlights in the world. They're so bright, apparently, astronauts say you can see them from space. Well, wow. Even Belgians think Belgium's boring. In a recent survey, 60% said they wish they'd been born somewhere else. There have been a number of attempts to cheer the Belgians up. I mean, this CD was released a couple of years ago, got into the top 10 here. Let me play it for you. Here we go.
It's great to be a Belgian. I'm not English, I'm not French, and I'm not Dutch. I'm not Spanish, Portuguese, or German. I'm a Belgian, so thank you very much.
Well, we just heard that 60% of Belgians wish they'd been born somewhere else. You do?
Yes.
Where would you like to have been born?
America.
Really?
Yeah.
America's a terrible place.
Of Australia.
Which country would you like to have been born in?
Italy.
Italy?
Same. Italy.
Italy?
Yeah.
Italy's pretty popular.
Belgium is the greatest country in the world
Really?
to live in.
To live in?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Finally we found a happy Belgian. What's good about being a Belgian?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Is it better to be a penguin or a Belgian?
No, there's a penguin.
A penguin?
Oh, penguin, yeah, penguin. Yeah.
There are worse things than be a penguin, be a Belgian.
So to find out if Belgium's as dull as everyone says, I thought I'd look at some Belgian sport. Good afternoon and welcome to the historic lace-making city of St Nicholas, where the 2001 Open Fireplace World Pipe Smoking Championships are about to begin.
Jongens, zijn jullie klaar?
The rules are simple. You're given 2 minutes to load your pipe with 3 grams of tobacco, and then you see who can keep it alight the longest. The record is 3 hours.
Stop!
After the pipe's loaded, they're given 2 matches and 1 minute to get the pipe alight.
3, 2, 1, 4.
And they're off! They're off! Hugely tense sport, this. People have been in training for this for 20, 30 years. Some of them have not even had time to shave in that time. This is world-class smoking. You simply won't find a better qualified bunch of men and women. How's it going?
Fine. I think I already beat my own record.
Your own record being what?
29 minutes or something like that.
Only 29 minutes.
Only the godfather. I'm not the godfather of the club. I'm not the professional.
And the technique for pipe smoking, do you have a special technique?
No, I watch regularly to see if I can see the fire in the center of my pipe. Then I try to roll it up.
Is that exciting?
Very exciting. Yeah. But the prize money is not very good.
How much?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
No. Simply the pleasure of being with the guys and the girls.
With the guys and the girls?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wish you all the very best. Well, sadly, we must now leave the ancient lace-making town of St Nicholas because we have other sports to cover this afternoon. See you a little later. Thank you. Well, you join me on a blazing summer's afternoon here in the village of Oyham in northern Belgium. And we really are looking forward to a world-class afternoon of finch sport. Again, the rules are simple. You put a bird in a box and count how many times it sings in an hour. As soon as the starter has finished having a pee, he'll be ready to set them all off. And they're off. It is an incredibly skilled sport. This woman is marking his bird, which is there. But she must also keep her other ear open for her bird, which is there, to make sure that he isn't diddling her out of sings. Complicated stuff. There isn't a bird in a potato field singing. How do they know? Does this just happen in this part of Belgium? Yes, only in this part, the Dutch-speaking part of Belgium. The Dutch-speaking part of Belgium. And only few provinces. And how many people do it? 20,000. 20,000? Yeah, each week. 20,000 people do this every weekend? Yes. I just have to pause you there because I think we need to go back to the pipe smoking competition. No, it's okay, there's nothing happening there. And there's nothing happening here either. So let's move on. Thanks very much. You join me this afternoon on the football pitch in the village of Vecti, which is some 35 miles to the southwest of Ghent. Skies are a little overcast at the moment, but there is a glimmer over there. We're hoping the sun will break through and bring a little bit of sparkle to what promises to be a magnificent afternoon of shit yourself rich. And yes, here comes the cow now. Standard Frisian, beautifully presented, pert udders. The rules of shit yourself rich are indeed very simple. The field has been divided into an imaginary grid, and then everybody bets on where the cow will have its first shit. All our cows are quite mad, do you know? English cows. They're as mad as this dog. What's the longest you've waited for a cow to soil itself?
More than 3 hours.
3 hours sometimes? Yes. What happens if it goes dark?
Well, this year we arranged that if she hadn't had a shit after 1 hour, we count 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And on the place where she stands then, we lay a shit after her.
Oh, you will actually, you brought a shit with you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Whoa! It's a piss! It's a piss! A disaster, a false alarm, a piss. Come on, cow. Come on, the tail's still up. Oh, it's gone down again. Someone's out! Someone's out! Jeez! What happened? What? You're a woman and you're out!
Ja, het is uitgerold.
Why? What went wrong?
Ik zweet niet te hard.
You sweated on your tobacco. Well, that is an excitement, and with that dramatic development, back to the action. An absolute disaster here at number 64. What's happened exactly?
I don't think the bird likes to sing today.
Well, have you given up?
Yes, but he have not sing.
How is your bird doing?
Well, for the moment, he have 100 songs. 100 songs.
That's good. And the other one's out!
my sweat is dropping in my pipe, so she's out.
Yeah, sweating is the big problem, it seems, here in the ancient lace-making town of St. Nicholas this afternoon. "30 minutes so far and absolutely nothing. Just that piss." I think we've got an action replay of that which we can show for you now. It was a fantastic pee, no denying that, but sadly there was no follow-through, no sloppy seconds, no number twos. And still the crowd waits patiently for Chewy to perform. It is incredible, isn't it, that on a Saturday afternoon, while the rest of Europe settles down to watch 22 grown men kick an inflated sheep's pancreas at one another, the Belgians are doing this. Right there! Hey! It's there! It's a thrilling conclusion. It's there, but it's all over. That's in several grids. A huge line of it right down here. A magnificent performance from Chewy. The judges will be coming out soon to determine what grid that is in, and somebody's going to win 5,000 Belgian francs. What a wonderful evening's sport, and that after just 49 minutes of mooching about. That's it, it's all over. Now the counting begins.
There was one at the end who has probably 600 songs.
Tomorrow morning they'll be doing this again somewhere.
Yes, I think Roger plays about every day.
Every day?
Twice. Morning and evening.
Twice a day? You
yes,
do this?
every day.
In the morning and in the evening.
5 to 7 minutes to go. Can you feel this? Your life on the streets is done. Forget the business, you get what you give.
So, pipe smoking, crapping cows, birds in boxes. It seems the Belgians aren't boring at all. But are they a bit weird? Well, to find out, I've come to Brussels to meet a man who thinks he's a penguin. So when you go to the zoo, how do the penguins react to you?
Il y a une télépathie qui se fait avec le pingouin. Et alors, je parle, si on veut, avec le pingouin. Alors, ils entendent le cri du pingouin, et eux, ils viennent vers moi, et il faut ils répondent la même chose, ils disent autre chose, quoi.
You must understand, this man doesn't just speak penguin. He really does think, when he puts his suit on, that he is one. Bonjour. Maintenant, vous êtes un penguin.
Penguin, yes.
Vous réincarnez?
Oui, moi je suis, quand je viens à mourir, je suis réincarné, je deviens dans le corps d'un pingouin.
Dans l'Antarctique?
Dans l'Antarctique ou bien dans un zoo.
But what if I come back as a leopard seal and eat you? A leopard,
Oui, là les pingouins ils doivent faire attention à cause des baleines. L'orgue, on appelle ça le tigre des mers, parce que eux ils mangent les pingouins, quoi. Ils mangent les pingouins.
Welcome to Belgium, everyone. For years, I've driven through Belgium rather than to it. But plainly, that's been a mistake. It's a wonderful place. So to find out why they don't crow about themselves a bit more, I went to the town of Harelbeke to meet Jan Bekoy, Belgium's only known film director. In his private theatre, I was tempted to ask about his most famous film, The Sexual Life of the Belgians. But I resisted and asked if the people here have an inferiority complex.
It's an underdog position, and it's not a back position. We have nothing to defend, you know. When you are Britain, for example, football, you go England, France. So you have the impression it's a battle, you know.
Yeah.
And we are so. If we are in the competition, if we are participating, we are so glad already to be there, and we don't take too much place. We're gonna lose the first or the second game, and then we go home. But we were there. We just were a few moments like the others.
As you drive along, there's some beautiful cities in there.
Yeah.
You know, Bruges and Ghent and Antwerp, all beautiful cities, but you never see a sign on the motorway saying, hey everyone, really beautiful city this way.
Yeah, Belgians don't think they are important enough to stop for them. But,
well, you
have this feeling.
You just don't think we'll be interested?
No.
I feel desperately sorry for the Belgians, and it's all our fault. You see, Belgium was invented by the British back in 1830 as a handy piece of neutral ground where we could fight the French and the Germans. But now we've stopped fighting them, so there's no point to Belgium anymore. War turned it into one big graveyard. And it's war that brings me on to the strangest thing about Europe. It's completely artificial, man-made borders. Take this one between Belgium and Holland. It was only dug out 160 years ago, but already it's made people who live on this side completely different than the people who live on that side. I mean, if I lived here, I'd have to spend my entire life listening to a bird in a box. Whereas if I lived here, I'd be able to do this. Right, where's some pornography? So, Amsterdam then. Yes, Anne Frank. Yes, the Rijksmuseum. Yes, Venice of the North. There's lots and lots for your mother to do here. So there we are, the predictable face of Holland. Homosexual marriage is legal, so is euthanasia, Santa's helpers are black, the age of consent is 12, there's a gay zoo, anything goes. The Dutch are the most liberal people in all of Europe. Or are they? You see, I've come to a small town just outside Amsterdam to meet a vicar who believes that television is the devil's eye and that any form of sex outside marriage is wrong. You must look at the Dutch government and think, because they've recently allowed euthanasia, haven't they? That must really wind you up.
Yeah, we are very astonished by that. We have seen the developments the last decennia, so we knew that it was the spiritual development of our country, but deep in our hearts we hate that sin. We don't agree with our government.
On euthanasia?
On euthanasia, and that there can be a homosexual marriage now, and we say that's not a marriage. That's not the plan of God with human being. That's completely against God and His word and His aim with creation.
Poor chap, trying to preach all this in Holland. Must be a pretty empty church on a Sunday.
This is a village of about 40,000 people. I think 20,000 are on paper belonging to the church, and half of them, 10,000, are really active in church and going to church.
In this one little village?
In this one little village.
So this whole church is packed on a Sunday?
Yes.
Absolutely packed?
Absolutely packed.
And you have a religious newspaper here, don't you?
Yes. We have the Reformed Daily newspaper.
And that's a Christian newspaper?
Yes.
And that's daily?
That's a daily newspaper,
And
yes.
how many does it sell?
This paper has nearly 60,000...
60,000 copies a day?
Yes.
So it turns out then that the Dutch are not liberal homosexual pornographers. They are in fact a bunch of Bible-bashing religious zealots. But hang on a minute. What about the drugs? It's legal to smoke in a coffee shop, but it's illegal too, and you know the rest because you've seen Pulp Fiction. And then there's prostitution, which is even more confusing. Brothels are now legal, a very liberal move. But as a result, they now come under the wing of the Dutch government's Health and Safety Department.
You have to have short fingernails. It's not allowed for me to work. They are too
With
long.
those?
Yeah.
Why?
I have to cut them. Well, they are saying when you have a broken nail, you can tear up the rubber, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, so they're illegal, your nails?
Yes.
And I've got a list here of some of the rules.
Yeah.
Have you read them all?
Almost.
70 pages of rules. Things like, to clean a vibrator, you have to wet it, rinse it, dry it, and then immerse it for 5 minutes in a disinfectant.
Yes, that's correct.
Isn't disinfectant a bit sting?
Well, there is no vibrator that you can put 5 minutes in disinfectant, so I think you have to pick it up and throw it away. And use every time a new one.
A new one?
Yeah.
Well, the batteries would get broken, I presume.
Yes.
They haven't really thought about it, have they?
No.
Look at this, shaving sex. When clients desire shaving sex,
Yes.
which is not a type of sex I'm familiar with, what is
Me neither,
shaving
me
sex?
neither.
You don't know what it... Well, anyway, if a client comes in here and wants
Yeah.
shaving sex,
Yes.
they have to have their own shaving gear.
Yes.
When they don't, it will be necessary to renew the razor blade after every client.
Yes.
But we don't know what shaving sex is.
No.
So whoever drew that law up has got some serious problems.
Well, maybe he likes shaving sex.
Swallowing urine?
No.
Well, it says here...
Yes, I know.
If the client does not have any genital disease,
Yes.
it is in principle not dangerous to swallow urine.
But you don't know if the client
Has a genital
Yes.
disease. And feces, on the other hand, contains bacteria and often viruses and parasites, and you mustn't swallow excrement. Who sat down and drew these rules up?
Our health department.
They must be insane.
I know. I know.
That's all he wanted to do, yeah. Weird.
Pinning the Dutch down is a nightmare.
Was the vital thing.
Sex, drugs, religious zealots, and now petty bureaucracy. I needed this place explaining, so I went to see a leading Dutch newspaper columnist.
We're not dope smoking pornographers. That's just like some people in Amsterdam to lure the tourists in, like you.
Because as you go round Holland, it isn't Amsterdam, is it?
Oh, not at all. Amsterdam is like, you know, is like liberal, open-minded. That's not Holland. Holland is very closed-minded, and we're as much against gays and abortus and everything as most people in the world. So we're not.
So you're not all homosexuals and...
No.
Like we think
There's
of.
only one homosexual in the whole of Holland. And we put him in the newspaper just to get you in. That's what we do. It's all a tourist trap.
One thing's for sure though, it was a Dutchman who invented the speed camera. But then, what do you expect from a country whose sole contribution to the world of pop music is a song called... Remember? Radar Love.
I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here.
And it's 4:30 and I'm shifting gear. What a ridiculous line. But anyway, the point is, you can't ignore speed cameras, so the Dutch have come up with another solution. And I'm on my way now to see the head of an internet organisation called the Tough Tough Club, to find out what it is.
Red alert.
There's a lot of people around who are so frustrated from these speed traps and these cameras that they burn them down or they spray them with graffiti or whatever. And what they do is they
burn them down?
They burn them down. They even blow them up with explosives.
You're kidding?
Yeah, really.
Go, show me some pictures.
I'll write some nice
Well, while we're waiting, do you know what shaving sex is?
Shaving sex?
Yeah.
No.
I'm puzzled. It's just that it crops up the other day and I've not been able to find out what it is yet.
Shaving sex?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, look at the poor little Gatso.
Yes, it's all black.
So how did that one get burned?
They put an old tire on the top here.
Yeah.
They fill it up with petrol, with gasoline.
Yeah.
They light it. And then it starts burning. Well, the rubber of the tire is, it's just melting. It's coming all over, and it really burns like hell. And then
because this is a classic case, really, isn't
Yeah.
it, of building a speed camera in the wrong place.
Exactly.
And this is what's happening in Britain. If they put them outside schools,
yeah,
then that would be fine, but they don't. So what else have
Exactly.
you got? Oh, what's this?
this one is there's a guy running around who really fed up with these cameras. He paints the thing like a stigma.
Really? So he paints them pink, like this is a
Paints them
warning
pink.
to the police?
Exactly. This one is going to die soon, and then a few weeks later, it happens, and it's very frustrating to the police, of course, because they know it's going to happen, but they don't know when.
I shouldn't laugh. And yet somehow
Yeah.
that is quite funny. And of course they're a Dutch invention, aren't they?
Yes.
Why don't you apologise
Yes,
to the
okay,
British?
okay. Hello, England. I apologize on behalf of the Dutch people that some of my countrymen have invented a horrible machine like the Gatsometer. Sorry. This is a brilliant one. This is some heavy fireworks.
Well, they blew that one up.
He blew it up, yes.
You should actually point out at this stage that if anybody's watching this and thinking of doing it in England, that would be obviously a very bad thing. Okay, you mustn't take a lead from the Dutch on this. Okay.
Okay.
Just had to make that point.
Yes, I see.
Nobody ever pays the slightest bit of attention to what I say. I hope that carries on. What's this one?
This is brilliant. What is done here, they just drilled a little hole in the thing. They fill the whole thing with this foam and it expands like mad, so it comes out of all the holes. And the machinery inside is destroyed by this.
That's quite imaginative,
It's
really,
very
isn't it?
imaginative. You're not supposed to laugh. This is horrible. This is 150,000 guilders tax money from Holland.
Are there in fact any speed cameras left in Holland? Look at the number. How many are there?
Yes.
That's been shot.
Red alert.
So that's warning you now. Oh, here it is. And here it is.
Great.
But what about mobile speed traps? Well, most days Frank sets off in his four-wheeled radar detector to hunt down the hunters and teach them a lesson.
There he is. Yeah, you see the thing?
So he's hiding in those woods, so how do we get to him then?
Well, we just take this parallel road.
So the police car's just in those trees down there?
Yes, they are. They're just hiding away here. It's homemade, but it's made with love. So, I'm gonna put this sign down. Here we are.
And that now tells everybody that there is a speed trap just down there?
Yes.
They are slowing. Look, everybody's going slowly.
Yeah.
And everybody's pipping because they're like,
yeah,
thank you.
I see a lot of thumbs going up all the time when I do that, yes.
Are they the police down there then? That's where they work.
Yes, that must be them. That must be them, yes. I think they see us now.
So they know what you're doing?
They probably know what we're doing now, and we'll go have a look and take some pictures of them, see how they react.
Okay, we'll leave that there, do we?
We leave it there, of course.
Okay.
It does some good job. Little flash as well.
I've got to ask, why are you taking photographs of them?
Well, because they're taking photographs of me.
So you just photograph them and
Yes.
put them on your website?
Yeah, it's like a hall of shame. I just show people how shameful it is. Look, they're leaving.
So and now that's it, you've wrecked their radar trap?
Yes, exactly. There they go.
This is anarchy. That's anarchy, really, isn't it? Can you believe it? I can't find anything on shaving sex on the internet either. But I have found this. Look, these are the photographs of the policeman that Frank took earlier on today, and here they are on his website. And that really sums the Dutch up, fighting petty bureaucracy and authoritarianism every step of the way. They really are the rebels of Europe. No, that's wrong too. Because only a tiny number of Dutch people drive fast while smoking drugs and reading the Bible. Whereas 25% take their annual holidays in a caravan. There are more caravanists in Holland than anywhere else in the world.
Mr. Saturday dance. Heard the crowd in the floor.
It looks like normal British caravanning. Same lack of plumbing, different shoes, but the same cloudburst every time your chemilav needs emptying. So maybe the vans themselves are a bit more special than ours. Hi, come on in. Let me show you round. We've just a tight fit there, but yep, we're in. Now we begin over here in the dining room area, which has a huge panoramic window, so that I have a good view of another caravan. Then at night you can lower this table and turn this into a bed. Now, bit of a squeeze this, I admit, but here's the kitchen. No, sound man, we don't want to see you. Which obviously has 3 rings, a sink, and then down here there is a fridge. So that's pretty good. And then in here, and just back up. Oh, you can't. Hold on a minute. I'll just get round there. Here's the bathroom. Well, there's no bath obviously, but there is a chemilav and a sink with cold running water. Right now, I'll come down and come under. I told you, could you hide? You don't want to be professional, man. Now at this end is my bed, which, as you can see, is very nearly long enough for me. Look at that. Not that I can sleep anyway, of course, because the campsite is rather inconveniently located right next to a helicopter landing pad. So, basically then, caravanning here is pretty much the same as it is everywhere else. Cramped, uncomfortable, and cold. So what is the big appeal?
Freedom. Freedom you have as a caravan. You can go everywhere you want to go.
So why not stay in a hotel?
Oh, it's terrible. I think so.
Why camping? Be in nature and be free.
Be wet?
Well, sometimes. But it's just a small shower. It's not much.
I think the real reason why the Dutch like caravans so much has something to do with their food. Certainly, if you were to stay in a hotel in France or Italy, you wouldn't be able to buy the sort of cuisine that you're used to here in Holland. What the Dutch put in their mouths beggars belief. I mean bread, okay? What they put on it are chocolate sprinkles, like so. Then there's mushed apple with chocolate sprinkles, obviously. Porridge, that's huge over here, served with chocolate sprinkles. And then the world's most boring cheese, Edam, with chocolate sprinkles. And then you wash it all down with this stuff, something you certainly wouldn't be able to buy when you're abroad. It looks like a tea bag, okay? But look what it says on the packet. Smack. Do you take Dutch food with you when you go away?
Yes, of course.
Any caravan would have at least 35 kilograms of potatoes.
Chocolate sprinkles, of course.
Chocolate sprinkles?
Hagelslag.
Chocolate sprinkles?
Chocolate sprinkles.
You like them?
Yes, you don't?
Everywhere, German, we take this with us.
Have you any idea what shaving sex is?
Shaving sex?
Yeah.
I haven't got the faintest idea, no.
Is it across the board then, the caravanning? It's not just, people in...
Oh, it's everybody. The Prime Minister, when he goes on holiday, he's in a tent. And he's proud of it, you know. It's not like it's a secret, you know, that only the Secret Service knows where he is. We all know. We can see him, you know, and you see his head through the thing. You're like, this is our Prime Minister. You can't vote for a guy. I can't vote for a guy.
Where does he go? Does he go in hot?
No, he goes to Greece or something. I don't know.
So he drives down there in his Volvo with his tent on the roof.
Yeah,
that's
and he
shocking.
takes tins of Dutch food. And that's what we love. You say, oh, that's a nice guy. He's in a tent.
Isn't I want to sum Holland up now, but I can't. Some of it's chocolate sprinkles, some of it's golden showers. It really ought to be called. On the other hand, half the population is high and yet the country all around them is low. I'm currently driving along 50 feet below sea level. And of course, if the boy takes his finger out of the dike, well, this is Holland. I'll make a video about it. I wish they'd made a video about shaving sex. I never did find out what it is, and now I never will, because sadly, it's time to leave. Next week, we're going to meet Europe's cuddly teddy bears. The Germans. See you then.